Alright, Shalom. First, giving all credit to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, and a double honors to the apostles, the elders, and men of Great Millstone. Though I be not a part of any camp, I study and I learn under the doctrine of Great Millstone, so that's why I pay my respects to. Alright, it's going to be just a quick lesson. I can't, this is, they've been talking about this all day. And been talking about how Trump is talking about opening these houses of worship because he's considering them as essential services. Basically, I was talking about, because I'm not going to get into the article, but basically he's going into how Trump believes these churches and these religious organizations, he's considering them essential services, right? But I was meditating on it a little bit, and through the spirit, this could be a way for Esau to push his agenda more by because matter of fact, I'm gonna go ahead and get this precept, get the first precept, because again, Esau, they can very well use these churches to push their agenda more. So I'm gonna start off with Romans 13:1. It says, "Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, for there is no power but of the Most High. The powers that be are ordained of the Most High." So basically, the point being, these churches, again, because they're pretty much they're all under a 501c3. So basically Esau, they control these different religious leaders, these so-called pastors and preachers and whatnot, right? They're all under that gag order. And like I said, Esau, he can very well use these religious leaders to tell the congregation and tell the masses of the people to go ahead and get that vaccine, and ultimately to take the chip. But these different churches and whatnot, they can very well use the scripture, basically talking about how being under the government, we shouldn't disobey the government. We should follow the the laws of the land, and the same thing they did in slavery, right? Esau could very well pull this trick from up his sleeve, right? I'm gonna go ahead and read verse 2. It says, "Whosoever therefore resisteth the power resisteth the ordinance of the Most High, and they that resist shall receive to themselves damnation." So, like I said, the same thing they used in slavery, right? Where you had the slave owners, tell telling the Jews, showing them in the Bible where it talks about basically slaves, being subject to the masters and whatnot, things of that nature. You know, um, this is no different. So, like I said, because Trump is pretty much pushing for these churches to to open back up, but they could very well be doing that so they can again speed the process up, right? As Trump talked about, this whole Operation Warp Speed, and them pushing for a vaccine, right? Um, again, these different churches, these different pastors and religious leaders, they could very well be told to, tell their congregations to accept testing, get vaccinated, and again, ultimately get the chip, right? There's another one in Titus, 3:1. It says, "Put them in mind to be subject to principalities and powers, to obey magistrates, to be ready to every good work." And the point there is where it says to obey magistrates. Now, I'm just look this up real quick to see what it says. And the magistrates, go to what the definition they have here. It says to obey a ruler or a superior, right? So basically, again, these different religious leaders, telling their congregations to basically not go against the government, right? Basically not to go against the government. We should conform to the government. Do whatever they say. Just things like that, right? Because again, and here's the thing, because our people, if they start opening these churches, our people, our people, they're gonna, flock. They flock to these different churches or whatnot because, our people like being told smooth things. They don't like being told, that you that the Most High will kill you for smoking and eating abominable foods. You can't eat pork. Our people don't want to be told these things. So again, being that these churches, they're under the 501c3, that gag order, right? Up in there, they pretty much tell the people what they want to hear, right? Going to the book of Isaiah, what is that, 30? Because our people, they, that goes back to that, that whole Stockholm syndrome, right? Where, the captives, they develop that attachment, that emotional attachment to the slave owner, right? So, a lot of people, they, and especially our people, they love Esau, they trust in Esau, right? I'm gonna get this real quick in Isaiah 30 and I'll start at verse 1. It says, "Woe to the rebellious children, saith Yahweh, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin." Yeah, basically, again, our people, they want to be told, they want to take counsel from the so-called white man, right? Because he's going to tell the people what they want to hear, soothing things, right? Matter of fact, let me just go ahead and jump down and get it. And verse 10, I'll start at verse 9. It says, "That this is a rebellious people, lying children that will not hear the law of Yahweh." Right, because again, a lot of our people, when it comes to a lot of these things, a lot of our people, they know what's wrong, like being a homosexual. There was a point in time where, a lot of people, it wasn't as common today, to be, walking around a flaming faggot. It wasn't, it was a point in time that wasn't so common, that it wasn't popular. That's why they called it, being, hiding in the closet, because, our people, that deep consciousness, our people just knew in their spirit that it, certain things, it just wasn't right, But again, you saw, they set up these religious leaders to go out there and tell the people, that this is okay, that these things are accepted, They say things like the laws are done away with and all this other nonsense, right? Now I'm gonna jump to verse 10. It says, "Which say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things. Speak unto us smooth things. Prophesy deceit." So this is what our people, basically this is what our people tell. This is what they're saying. to the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai. You know, don't tell us what's gonna save us from being destroyed on this side. You know, we want to be told smooth things. We want to be told lies. You know, we want to be told that which is comforting. We want to be told that, you know, the Lord is okay with two men being sleeping together. We want to be told two women, it's okay for two women to come together and to be together. We want to be told these things, and that's you know, that's what's in the minds of these 2/3, right? Um, you know, again, you know, our people, they don't want to be told you know, you can't smoke. All right, our people don't want to be told these things. You know, they want to purposely be told lies, right? Um, you know, but again, like I said, you know, um, um, you know, again, like I said, Esau, you know, them opening these churches, you know, of course, you know, our people talk about the so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians. You know, when they open these churches, you know, a lot of our people, they got answers. They want answers. You know, they see things happening more and more, right? Um, and of course, you know, when they start opening these churches, our people, they're going to flock to to these churches, right? Because again, you know, our people, they put their trust, they put their power in Esau, and you know, they put their power in Egypt, and that might be in this chapter. Yeah, same chapter, verse 20 or verse 2. It says, "That walk to go down in Egypt and have not asked at my mouth, to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh," which Esau, he's the modern day Pharaoh, and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. And of course, you know, Egypt is modern day America is spiritually known as Egypt. So again, you know, instead of going to Yahweh Shem Yahushai, people, they put their trust in Esau. You know, because again, you know, this goes back to the whole thing. You know, the scriptures talk about fair speeches, right? You know, Esau, he's very you know, smooth with his words, smooth like butter, right? You know, our people, they like hearing, they like to hear these things, you know. But again, you know, rather than going to, because you know, there's precepts talk about how this is, you know, this doctrine is sweet like honey, but it can be bitter as well. And our people, they don't want to deal with the bitter part, you know. So, you know, that's the problem. Our people want one half. They don't want, you know, they don't want both sides, you know, both halves of the pie. They just want the good, you know, they just want the good stuff, you know. Again, as I said, you know, prophesy unto us deceit, you know, tell us lies, you know, tell us smooth things, you know. But again, you know, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, he warned us of these things. You know, going to the book of Jeremiah 17:4, it says, "And thou, even thyself, shall discontinue from thine heritage." It's like that's not it. I think it's Jeremiah 7:4. Yes, Jeremiah 7:4. It says, "Trust ye not in lying words, saying, the temple of the Lord, the temple of the Lord, the temple of the Lord are these." Because again, you know, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, he warned us of these things. You know, these different you know, churches popping up, right? You got all these different doctrines coming out. This black only Israelites. You know, you got these different Latino only Israelites. All these different strange doctrines popping up, because you even got some of these Israelite groups that are talking about, you know, it's okay to get vaccinated, right? That the mark of the beast is not the RFID chip, right? You even got some in the Israelite community, some Israelite groups that are saying it's okay to get vaccinated and all these other things, right? Because again, you know, even some of these Israelite groups, they're under the 501c3, so you know, they got that gag order. So you know, it's no surprise, you know, even in the Israelite community, you know, you're gonna have these things taking place. But you know, real quick, I'm gonna go to Psalms 20 and what is that? 7, it says some trust in chariots and some in horses. Because again, just as I just read in Isaiah, you know, pretty much says, woe to them that go down into Egypt. They trust in Pharaoh, which again is modern Esau. He's a modern day Pharaoh, and America is spiritually known as Egypt. Some people, they trust in this place because of the military power, or the technology, or the so-called quote unquote what do you call it, rights, right? Um, People see these things, and they trust in they trust in these things rather than trusting in Yahweh Shemel Shai, which reading on it says, but we will remember the name of Yahweh our power. So again, only the true worshipers, because that's who Yahweh Shemel Shai is looking for at the end of the day. Let me get that real quick. What is that? John 4. Only the real ones, as they say, right? The real ones, they're going to call on, they're going to trust in and call on and trust in the names of Yahweh Shemel Shai. And get that real quick. In St. John chapter 4 and verse 23, it says, but the hour cometh, and now is, when the true worshipers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth. For the Father seeketh such to worship him. So again, it all goes back to the elect, because only the elect, are going to, basically, be woke in these times, and calling and trusting in the names and the spirit and the power of Yahweh Shemel Shai. Only that small remnant, right? But of course, as the precepts say, what is that in Matthew's? Because a lot of people, man, a lot of people, they're going to get vaccinated. A lot of people, they're going to get that chip, because in most cases, a lot of people are going to fall because they have a blind leader leading them, right? That's what I'm about to get. In Matthew 15 and 14, it says, let them alone. They be blind leaders of the blind. And if the blind lead the blind, both shall fall into the ditch. So again, these different religious pastors and preachers, they're going to end up leading a lot of people to be destroyed, because, these different churches or whatnot, they conform to they conform to Esau's Esau's ways, his philosophies and whatnot, right? So, I think there's another one in Luke, talks about, what is that, Luke 6 and 40, I think. Luke 6 and 39, it says, and he spake a parable unto them. Can the blind lead the blind? Shall they not both fall into the ditch? So yeah, if you're following with someone who's leading, who's on his way to destruction, it's only natural ultimately you're going to be destroyed. So again, because a lot of these these people up in these high positions, again, this is just all speculation. Like I said, Esau, he could very well use this. Going back to this article, I've been seeing articles on this all day. So, Trump talking about opening all these these houses of worship, deeming them essential services, right? It says and urges reopening. So he's kind of, it sounds like he's pushing for these churches to open up, because again, this could very well be, Esau could very well use these churches and these different religious leaders to push the masses of the people to get vaccinated, and again ultimately get that chip. So this is something to look out for. Just hope this was edifying. This is, like I said, I saw this article and I've been seeing it all day, and it's been on my spirit. So again, Lord's will, it was edifying. And Once again, I want to give all credit to Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai and the double honors. Much respects to the apostles, the elders, and men of Great Millstone. And until the next time, I say Shalom.